Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the shop. We are once again here in the shop working on Chanel, and we are continuing our project of installing the axles,
Right here.
the M220 rear, M190 front end in Chanel so we can get the lower gears, the lockers, and we are also installing the larger tires. So
Yay.
we'll get into all of that as we go, but let's get to work.
Yes, I'm ready, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
It's about time. We've been talking about this for a while, so let's get her done.
Broken down arthritic.
Oh, quit complaining. Here we go.
Yeah. Okay.
Good morning.
So where we left off last time, we were at my buddy Mike Duncan's shop. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. It's a really good video where he installed the 513 gears into the rear end and front end for us. We answered some questions about that process, and it's a really good gives you an idea what it takes to install gears. I'm a good shade tree mechanic, but that's one of those things that I don't like to do myself. So we're going to start with the rear axle. All right, so let's go to the back real quick and take a look here. So what we're going to need to do is unbolt it every place, shocks, control arms, track bar, and then the brakes will stay. So rather than cracking open the brake lines, I'm just going to lift those off, undo them, tie them up in place. All of this, brake lines, electrical, all of that I'll need to disconnect from the rear axle housing so that I can just drop it out. And we'll move the new one in and button everything back up. I guarantee there will be things I'm not thinking about, but we'll discover those together. As I was editing this video, I realized that there's a lot of footage here because we pretty much filmed the entire process, and the video was going to end up being pretty long. I thought about cutting a lot of it out to make the video a more palatable length, but I decided not to because I think some of this, while it might seem mundane to some, I believe it would be useful for others. And I decided in the end that I would just leave everything in here. I'll speed it up where appropriate, but we're going to show the entire process from beginning to end. I think that might come in handy for some. It'll make it, more of a technical video than an entertainment video. So if that's not for you, that's fine. You can go ahead and find something else to watch. But when you need to do something like this, I'm glad it'll be here for people to come back and reference. So right here we've got, this is the speed sensor. I don't know if you can see right up in here stuff. This connector right here goes over here into the speed sensor, which actually pokes down into the axle housing. There's a tone ring on the axle so that the computer knows how fast the car is going. I think I can just leave that on the axle and just unplug. All right. There we go. All right, finally. Okay. So that's brackets. And then for you shade tree mechanics, here's a good tip. Always put the bolt back in if you can. Now, even though I'm going to be swapping to a different axle, I'll be able to go back and grab this off of here. I'll know where it came from. Bolt back in there.
There's one on the back here.
Yeah, right here. Basically, you just follow all of these things around and make sure they're all disconnected. Like I've got enough back here. Yeah, I know. I need a good cordless electric wrench. Maybe Santa Claus will hear me next year. So that's all off. They have 1,000 different connectors on this car, and every single one of them has a different method of disconnecting.
We found that out when we were taking the fenders off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those little plastic snaps are worthless.
Yeah, so. Okay, so this is the brake line. And just so you guys know, if you take this off, yes, you can do that and remove the brake caliper. But this is a closed system. You're gonna, if you take that off, you're gonna get air in the air lines and you'll have to re-bleed the brakes. That's not a huge thing, but it's something I'd rather not do. So when I take the calipers off, I'm just gonna leave the brake line attached to the caliper.
And you'll just tie them up.
Okay, we've got all of the lines, wiring harness, brake lines, everything disconnected from the axle assembly. Next is to take the brake calipers off. For that, we need an 18mm wrench. And maybe a cheater. And maybe a bigger cheater. Sometimes you need the big ratchet.
It's amazing what a proper tool
Called
give you a
leverage.
little bit of leverage there.
Yeah. Now, if you don't put your bolts right back in where they go in place, make sure you have a good bolt wrench or something. If you just put them on the floor, next thing you know, you're going to kick them.
Or what about putting them in your pocket and then your wife washes them in the laundry?
Yep.
That's happened a couple times.
Yeah. So that bolt has a really tight fit, and maybe there's some, there's some, if you look at the one we took out, see this red stuff?
Loctite or
there's
something
Loctite
on it. And this one's 18mm as well.
Yeah.
The same bolt.
There's just two of them. Don't be fooled and do these other bolts up here. All those are for the slider, for the caliper to adjust as the pads wear.
Hold that up.
Yeah. So, hold it in place since it's still connected to the brake.
Oh yeah, that's in there.
And just like this.
Here.
Okay.
Alright, there you go.
Alright. So that can hang right there.
Alright, next on this is what? Drive shaft, babe?
Disconnecting the drive shaft, yeah. Yep. So 9mm, we're just going to go ahead and pull those off. I've never done one of these types of drive shafts before. All of my old stuff just has a yoke and another yoke with a U-joint. It's easy to take those off. So I don't know what these little things are for. No clue. But I see no other way to disconnect it. I'm assuming that's going to pull out of this cup, and we'll see. Now, here's another little trick for you guys. When you put a car up on the lift, if you're going to be working on the axles and drive shafts, just make sure you leave the car in neutral, in the transfer case or the transmission. That way you can turn things without having to climb back up in there to disconnect something. Oh, and also make sure you leave I should have mentioned this earlier, but if you're going to put something up on the rack to work on it, don't leave the parking brake engaged, because that'll clamp your
calipers
brake
down.
calipers. Yeah. So, one thing that might hurt me on this though is not having it stop. So what I'm going to do is get another wrench. So just a tie bar should do it too.
Or you put it in.
Just kind of wedging it right there.
Alright.
Alright. Probably best to go ahead and break them all a little loose before you. So I brought in the real muscle.
Muscle mouth.
Yeah, those little guys just they're a little stubborn.
truth will be told here. Now that we got all the bolts out, now what?
How you go about coaxing it out of there. If you know how these come about, post it in the comments and I'll wait and read them. Actually, no, I will have this out before I can read them. But while you're there, we want you to do what? Hit the like button.
Yep.
And subscribe.
If you like the content that you see, you have any suggestions?
If you don't mind seeing a couple of shade tree mechanics that have no clue what they're doing, bang their heads against this type of stuff, tune in next time. All right, I think I need a dead blow. Okay, so I think we need a little dead blow action on it.
Explain what dead blow is. I never heard you say that term before.
So this is a dead blow hammer. And what that means is, can you hear it's kind of like a maraca? There's little beans in here and it's a soft hammer. So what that does is that is able to hit it without jarring it, marring it, or whatever.
Denting it and messing it up.
So it's basically a rubber mallet that's got some little beans inside it that kind of, they
absorb the shock, or
well, kind of like when you swing it, the beans all move to one end, and when the hammer stops, then the beans add a little bit of extra when they hit the front end. So kind of just sort of helps. There it goes.
Oh, I see it moving. Yay! Whoop, whoop. Come down there.
Okay.
Oh, mama, come to mama.
All right. So
look at all that dirt in there. Holy smokes. I don't think that's supposed to be all in there, huh?
it just accumulates. So yeah, that confirmed my suspicions on how that attaches. So I just need to tie this up out of the way.
All right, cool. Yeah, do now. Just now that we got the drive shaft out, you just got to get the.
So the next thing is basically what's holding the thing in now is the link arms, this bolt, that bolt, and the shock bolt. Oh, and the track bar bolt.
Do we have a stand to put this on so that whenever you drop it down that...
I have a stand, but it's currently being used.
Yeah, it's currently being used
So
over there.
what we're going to do is we're going to loosen all these bolts and get them close, and then we're just going to lower the whole car close to the ground and put it on jack stands.
Got it.
And then lift it up off of it.
That makes sense.
All right, let's get started on that.
All right.
So I cheated. I came out last night and pre-loosened all of these. So.
Track bar?
Yeah, this is the track bar. So we only need to do this end of it. Obviously the other end is at the axle, or at the chassis. We're going to leave that one almost done. And then let's get the shock bolts off. So the shock, I do have the correct socket for that, 27 millimeter. Yes, I had to buy that. Most socket sets don't come with one that size. So one thing to keep in mind when you have this thing up in the air, just keep in mind that even though we have suspension links and a track bar, what's holding it up in the air is the shock. So if
You don't want to take it all the way out.
If I was to pull that bolt out, the whole thing would swing out. So this one's a little different because I'm actually loosening the bolt, not the nut. And I can't pull a bolt all the way out until this thing is sitting on some jack stands. So I think this one's already loosened as well. Yeah, let me get it looser.
We're watching the...
All right, so since those are nice and loose, I'm gonna go ahead and get my jack stands ready, and then we will lower this onto them and continue from there. Lower this thing down.
Gotta get that other jack stand there.
Set your jack stands. Make sure you don't put them right where you need the bolt head to come out, or the bolt to come out. I've done that before, not on this thing, but...
Nor do you put them where your lines are.
Yeah.
Crimp the line.
Okay, so it's sitting on there good enough. I think we can go ahead and pull the bolts out. That's really nice. The fuel tank's in the way of that one.
Great.
Yeah, that is really special. Love it. Free.
It didn't roll, did it? So it...
No, well, that last bolt is...
Nice work there, Dusty. Oh, we ain't done yet, huh? There it is. So just FYI, guys, getting that last one out of there, it's gonna hit up against the fuel tank. Got the rear axle housing out. It is dismantled from the rear of the Bronco. Is that going to be a boat anchor now, or is it, I'm just going to put it in the junk pile. Doesn't have a locker in it.
So this one, I wonder if we can use this All right, so time to bolt in the new rear end. So it's sitting on this crate, might make it a little bit easier. Let me roll this forward a little bit.
Oh, I didn't see it up there. Yeah, it's right there at the top. Do we need to pick up on it a little bit? It looks like it needs to go down some. There it goes. Nice job. This last thing in here. It needs to go down a little bit. Let me pry that up some. A bit more.
Okay.
It's got tension on it. It needs to go up and I can guide it in there.
Yeah, well, also looks like this has been bent a little bit, so let me,
Take it up just a hair and I'll guide it in there.
well, it's actually too narrow.
Oh, is
It
it?
needs to be
We need a pry bar
pried
to.
a little bit, yeah.
Mighty Mo there. Is that sticking out too far? Does it go in?
Yeah, see, it's the thickness of this, though, that it needs to be.
How did that get bent? Or maybe, oh, this is the new axle, so
Yeah, it was probably just from sitting in the...
yeah, sitting in wherever it was getting rebuilt.
Yeah.
Do we need to warm it up at all?
Oh, no. Just needs some cold persuasion.
You may put the nut in?
No, I got it.
Or the bolt? Try it now. It was horizontal a second ago.
There it is.
There she goes. Now all we have is a track bar that needs to be the holder just needs to be put
But
down.
with all of these on here, we can go ahead and lift it out and get rid of it.
Right. This box here.
So we need the brake rotors from the old axle. Okay, so also off of the donor axle, I need the speed sensor and the brake backing plate from either side. So okay, that's the little speed sensor.
And there's one on each side. Here's the plug-in for that.
We'll plug it in until we're done. Put the other one in.
It's on the front. That one.
Okay. Okay, there's the... So these just float in here, nothing holds them on except for after you put the wheel on, the lug nuts will hold the wheel on, hold the rotor on. Sometimes there'll be little clips on here, don't really need them.
Excuse the dogs barking. Their neighbors are over there outside working on their trailer.
Caliper bolts.
Oh, you'll have to crank her down on that.
Yep.
Okay, so what's the plan here, Dusty?
All right, we got to open this thing up because it is, I think it's been bent inward. So to do that, we're going to jack it open with a jack screw.
Where'd you learn how to do this? Just
Well,
with your tractor experience?
it's just,
Tricks of the trade?
it's just common sense. And we got to figure out which way it needs to be pushed and how are we going to push it that way. So,
So basically you screwing in that bolt is gonna pull that top out, huh?
yeah. If I can get the wrench going the right direction.
I'll be thoroughly impressed if we get this. I see it happening already. Nice.
All right, I need to bend it a little further because it's going to spring back.
Yeah. You are one smart feller there, Dusty Sharp. That's cool.
All right, see it springing back already?
Yeah, I do. Well, that's some pretty tough metal. I think it's gonna be enough though.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it looks like it. Well, we've got to clear this right here though.
We can get it. I think we're close enough now.
You sure? I don't think so. I think we're still off. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think at this point we can get close enough.
Oh yeah. Look at you, smart boy. That's awesome. That's impressive. All right.
Okay, so we do need to come that way.
All right, so we got another one of Dusty's tricks there.
Straps.
We got big straps now. Oh, I've seen you do this before. Do that like a come along, huh?
Yep.
Almost there. Almost. Not quite. Needs a couple more He-Man.
Well, it's far enough over. It just needs to be centered in the bowl hole. See there?
I see it. Nice job there, Sharp. Alright, I think it's time for the drive shaft.
Well, let's get this one. I don't know if this thing has to be indexed a certain way or I don't know. I hope these bolts are all just the same distance apart. Let's get one started and see what we find out.
Got the light in the way.
Right there.
Right, we are at the point where we are hooking up the brake lines and the electric here.
So a lot of these things just get to snap back in the holes. That gets snapped down into there. It's just a Christmas tree push in right there. So I'm just going to go ahead and tighten everything down as good as I can get it with this, with a regular wrench, Guten tight as we call it. And then once I have it sitting on the ground, then I will come back with a torque wrench and torque everything.
We Guten tight at that point.
All right.
All right, I think we got them all done, Mr.
You know what time
Sharp.
it is?
It's Miller time.
It is Miller time. Let's go have a beer.
Yes. Good job, Sharp. My, oh my.
All right.
You gotta open mine for me.
Oh.
I got fingernails.
You can wrench on Broncos, but...
I don't want to break my fingernail.
All right, well, I'm taking the tax.
Oh, well, okay. Thank you, baby. Wow, good job.
All right, so we were hoping we would do both the front end and the back end in this video, but just the rear one kind of took more time than we thought. And I think it's going to make a pretty good video just by itself. So what we'll do is we will wrap this one up, and then the next video will be doing the front end, and then probably a third video, actually a fourth one, since we have the gear install video before.
All the electrical and stuff.
Yeah, it'll be hooking up the lockers, buttoning everything up. So you guys saw us do the entire process of pulling out the existing rear end out of the Bronco and putting in the new one. I have a couple things to do still back there. I got to torque everything. I'm not going to do it until I put it back down on the ground. And so I'll go back through, torque everything. I do need to still hook up the vent line from the differential. And then the last thing is add oil. Okay,
Yes,
so,
where it said no oil on that little green.
yeah, remember when you get a housing assembly, they don't come with oil in them. And like Mike Duncan told me, he's had customers that have complained to him that they didn't have oil. Well, he writes it in big letters now. But we'll get to the front end in the next video, and I've got a couple of other things I need to do here too. A couple of extra goodies, doing some clearancing and whatnot for the 37s. So until then, I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, thanks for following along with us. We
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Like and subscribe,
Yeah.
and we will see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye-bye. You can tell the threads are gummed up, but as my friend Tom Singer says, cross-threaded is tighter than Loctite.
True.